Welcome to your Ideal Minute. I'm your host, Clay Abernathy. Today we are meeting with Todd at Tucson Contracting. We're excited to be here. Let's go in and meet him. Hey, how's it going?
How you doing, man? Good
Clay.
to see you, Todd.
Nice to meet you. Yes.
Good to see you.
Hey, thanks for having us. We appreciate taking the time.
Started doing this right out of high school, and worked for a few other people, and then in 2005 I started another business, and in 2008 it decided to go away, just like everybody else's did.
Was it a contracting business too?
Yeah, we were building spec houses all over town.
2008 was a tough time to build spec houses for sure.
Yeah, I started building, the first one I built was in 2000, end of 2005 was the first one I built. 2006 was great. 2007 we started seeing things start to change, and then we decided to change to do a rent-to-own for the new construction that we built and or the flips that we were buying. And then about September 2008, the writing was on the wall. It was time to, and then of course in 9 and 10 everything just slowly went away, all of our lots and stuff. And then I went to work for another general contractor in Tucson. And he was just a remodeling contractor, because that was, you could stay busy doing that.
Right.
And we were overly busy a lot of the time. I was the project manager superintendent for him, and then it was probably about 9 years on and off I was with him. Plus in the meantime I was doing my own stuff, and I started getting more into doing estimating for him and actually running a little bit more of the company. And then in 2017 I decided that it was time to do my own thing again.
Cool.
So I started Tucson Contracting in January of 2017. We were licensed by May, and just started from there and kept running and gunning and doing what we're doing. And now we're running excavation, building some custom homes, got some guest houses and stuff we're looking at too. Garages, still a lot of remodels. I mean, we've been voted favorite through Arizona Daily Star 2 years in a row for remodeling companies. I like doing new construction stuff a lot better. It's a little bit easier because
Customers are easier?
Customers are easier, and you don't have to. Doing the remodel stuff, I've noticed over time that it's kind of a hindrance because you're in people's houses, and as much as they want you there and to do this stuff, depending on who did the work previously, there's a lot of problems. A lot of people don't do the best work, I guess.
So they do what they can afford.
Yeah.
At the time,
absolutely.
And then they buy the house, and then it wasn't them that couldn't afford to do it right.
Yep.
And so then they inherit the problems, and then
we've actually fixed a lot of other contractors' work over the years that was just poor contracting and stuff like that. So, and it's in most homeowners, they don't know.
Right.
They call people like us because we're the professionals.
Right. Yep.
And they want their stuff done right, and they don't know. I mean, a guy I worked for in the past, he told me, and he's retired contractor now, and he said, "Listen, Todd, none of these people really know what we're building. So that's why we need to educate them and let them know as we're going through the phases with framing and drywall and whatnot. One thing they do see is mess."
Right.
So we try to keep all of our job sites really clean. It's also better for safety.
Oh yeah.
And stuff like that, so not too bad.
Pretty cool. So were you always doing excavating, or did you?
No, I did. I used to do excavating years ago, and I started doing some for a couple electrical contractors that I know. Started getting back into it in probably 2018.
The pandemic really did something weird, because a lot of people didn't go to work, but the construction force did.
So once the pandemic hit, we were essential, which was great for all.
We've always been essential.
Well, absolutely.
People started recognizing
it. It was pushed more in people's faces that we are essential.
Right.
I've always thought we were anyways.
I've known we have been,
yeah.
Yes.
And I never thought that we would have been as busy as we were during that time.
Yeah.
And as I'm going to look at projects for people and stuff, and a couple people, they said, we've always worked out of our house.
Yeah.
At an office or wherever they go to work. And one guy had said to me, he goes, I'm working out of my house every day. I'm in my house working. That's my home office now. And I never really realized how bad I neglected my house.
Yeah.
And I was like, well, it doesn't seem bad. He's like,
That's valid,
yeah, but it's dated. You know, we don't spend a lot of time here because me and my wife both work in offices. And I was like, all right, well, what do you want to do? And we just kind of went from there, and we did the project and stuff. And there was, as the pandemic kept going, more people were staying home, and they're like, man, well, you know, this is kind of nice working from home. So let's turn this bedroom, because our kids are grown up and moved out, into an office. Being in the trades I've made a pretty good life for myself. You've made a pretty good life for yourself. We're not worthless. That's been proven.
Right. We're the most important.
That's right. And I just feel like over the last 10, 15 years, whatever it's been, that so many people have pushed everybody from going into the trades because, you got to work hard and everything's computerized and video games and all that stuff. No one wants to work hard anymore.
Right.
But hard work always pays off.
Oh, yeah.
So you can make a good living, and if you learn a trade, if you become an electrician or a plumber, a carpenter, and you know the trade, you can go anywhere in the country. You don't have to stay in Tucson.
Yeah.
You know, the union stuff here in Tucson, from what I know, isn't very strong.
Right.
Well, Arizona being a right-to-work state. But you don't have to have a journeyman's card, and you don't have to go to college to know how to run jobs.
Right.
All I've ever gotten was on-the-job experience, and we seem to do pretty good.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
So, and surrounding yourself with good people too. That, a lot of these older guys that were in the trades as we were coming up through, they're retired.
Yeah.
So now it's us. So now we got to teach these kids.
Yep.
And to get them to not want to just play on the phone all day, they play video games and go through high school, and then they're like, oh, what am I going to do now?
Yeah.
Well, you didn't do anything.
Yep.
And opening a trade school like you've done, it's really important because what's going to happen when there is no more tradesmen?
We're in big trouble.
And we're already going down that path right now with no young guys coming up through. And a lot of the young guys that come up through now, I can't put a percentage to it, but I know the percentage is low of ones that stick around.
It's very few.
Yes. They'll come through, they'll start, and as soon as you give them a shovel, they're like, well, what am I going to do that?
Right.
And one thing I have found I've always tried to hire younger guys to teach them.
Right.
And then they can stick with me or move on and do whatever. They all want a lot of money.
Right.
Some of these kids I've ran into, it's like, oh, I need $20 an hour.
Right.
Well, man, 20 years ago, I started at like $6 an
Right.
hour.
$4.25.
Yeah, exactly. And but
with and the thing is that that's
no experience.
No experience,
Yep.
no
Yes.
skills. $20 an hour, easy if you can do what I need you to do.
Yeah.
With skills.
And you can show up every day
Yes.
on time and not call and, oh, there was a car accident. I had my dog ran away, or I got to take my cat to the vet, or whatever the case may be.
Right.
I've heard every excuse in the
Yep.
in the book.
Terrible excuse, yes.
Yeah, and it's just like, man, just be honest.
Yep.
You overslept.
Yep.
I'd rather you text me, call me, whatever, and just say, hey, man, I overslept. I'm on my way.
Yeah,
okay.
no big deal.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Don't just
right.
show up like nothing happened, because, and especially the way things are now with there being so many people needed to complete the projects. When one person doesn't show up,
Yep.
it's critical because you're depending on this person, that person, that person. Well, now this person doesn't show up. Well, now what are these two guys going to do?
Right.
And we're getting older.
Yep.
I don't want to put my bags on anymore and beat nails.
Right.
It hurts.
Yeah.
Go lift.
You've earned the right.
Yeah, exactly. I go out and run the tractors and stuff still. And I do framing and stuff. when I need to. But that, if I have to go do that, then I suffer in the office.
Right.
Billing gets behind, bids get behind. I mean, sometimes we're working 60, 70 hours a week again, and I'm thinking, man, I started a business so I didn't have to work that much, you know. Might be the wrong outlook on it.
It probably was, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, the freedom part of it is pretty nice. You know, if you want to go on vacation or do whatever, you can do that too. Yeah. But it's crazy times, and I don't know which way they're going to go.
A little bit about ideals. We're trying to combat that. I mean, if you've seen a little bit about what we're trying to do, is
Yeah, no, I checked it out online and stuff.
We've actually somehow been successful in getting that younger generation to get excited again, and
so it's great.
And it's and the interesting is we got a lot of women that want to get in and do it, and I think that even 20 years ago that was not going to happen, just strength wise, that they were just built differently. But now with the tools that we have and the things that we can do, it's more plausible. There's certain things that just are difficult. You got to have a couple people, but we're seeing some success in that, and I think that the construction world's going to continue to change. With us building these modulars inside now, we don't have theft off the job. I don't have crackheads coming in and ripping my electric out after I put something in.
Yeah.
I don't. When we leave, we come back, it looks the same, and it's been a very interesting thing that I've learned in the school and watching these kids build is like, okay, well, it's the same as it was when you left, which is very exciting. And
you don't have to worry about people going on your job and somebody getting hurt for lawsuit purposes.
Right.
And I mean, we've over time, we'll get to the job, and people didn't steal stuff, but they bring their friends in because they want to show them what's going on in their neighborhood.
The excitement of their job.
And it's like, look, I get it, and that's awesome that you want to do that, and I like it. But it's like, if you get hurt or if somebody didn't clean up, because you can only manage so much, some people are going to leave a piece of wood with a nail sticking up out of it, and then somebody steps on it, and then all of a sudden, oh, well, blah, blah, blah. And it's like, oh, man, come on.
Right.
Just call me and I'll walk you guys through the job, And then that way I don't get a phone call with 20 questions at the same time.
Right.
We can walk you through the process, let you know what's going on, what stage we're at. And if a lot of times for us, I have the customer, they supply like their plumbing fixtures and finishes and stuff like that.
Right.
Because at this point in time, I don't know about you, but I'm not getting much of a contractor break anymore. They're kind of gone,
Nope.
So I just tell them, look, if you see something you like, just buy it, because it might not be there in 2 weeks.
Yeah.
So they've been doing that, and it's like, oh, hey, well, we need this and we need that. Okay, great. And then we can get that stuff going so we can keep the project moving.
Recommendations for customers that are getting their house remodeled or a house built. What's some advice you could give them to make it easier for them to bear with contractors and construction workers and subcontractors now?
Maybe do a little bit more research on material costs. Even if you just jump on like HomeDepot.com or Lowe's.com or something, or go to the store and just walk around. Look at the prices of sinks, faucets, your tile, carpet, lumber,
right.
A bag of concrete. I mean, it's pretty obvious that a bag of concrete is 80 pounds and it doesn't do much for you,
right.
One bag, right? And look at the costs and look at how much is not on the shelves. Maybe just a little bit more self-education,
right.
So that way when we go there to meet with you and go through your project, you have a pretty good idea. And I've had quite a few clients that in the past few months that are like, and I'll tell them, look, here's the deal. Costs are high, time frames are long, and they're like, oh, I know.
Right.
I get it. I get 100%. And so I'm just, okay, as long as you have some sort of an idea. And then some people, they have no clue at all.
Right.
I feel like some people are living in a bubble, and it's like, I mean, I don't know. I watch the stock market to see where lumber's going to be, and
Right.
and you know, commodities and stuff to see what's happening going forward, so that way we can try to gear up to be ahead of the curve, I guess.
Right. Yeah.
You know, so just a little more education, probably know a little bit more of what you want versus, well, I don't know. You're the contractor. You're the professional. Tell me. And one thing that I try to reiterate to my clients or potential clients is, you depict your budget.
Right.
I don't.
Right.
If you want ceramic tile, well, it's $250 a square foot.
Right.
If you want travertine, it's $450 a square foot, kind of deal. You know,
Right.
kind of have a better idea of what your finishes are going to be, and you know, just some sort of idea instead of just walking in blindfolded. You know, we still do free estimates.
Right.
I don't know how much longer we're going to be able to do that.
Right.
You know, fuel costs are so much, and the time, you know, because just driving from my office here where we're at to Oro Valley to look at a job, you're looking, oh, there goes $20.
Right.
You know, and just a little more education on stuff. And I have a lot of clients that show me pictures from Pinterest.
Right.
Well, I like this. Okay, do you like that tile right there? All right, well then we'll find it.
Right.
And if we can't find that one,
Get something
we'll
close.
find something close. You know, the cabinets, you know, door styles and man door styles, handles, light fixtures. You know, I'm not really one for Pinterest, but I probably have 1,000 pictures from Pinterest in my phone just from different clients.
Right.
That's this is what we like. Okay, no problem. We can give you a price off of that, you know, and figure out what we need, you know. And we've been doing a lot more allowances on our bids too,
Yeah.
because to give someone a hard price right now is
I'm pretty sure that's where we're all going. You know.
yeah.
And so I think that's an important thing for people to know, is that the more educated you are, the more likely you are to get a contractor to work with you.
Yes.
You know, because if I've got to spend extra time trying to educate you and sell you on what's going on, that's time we don't have. You know, that's
Yes.
If you're a customer that's going to be hard to deal with, that doesn't understand what they want, and that takes our time. We don't necessarily have the time that we used to be able
Right.
to provide those services, and so those people are going to get left in the dust. I think that's not by us not wanting to educate them and wanting to do it. It's that the easier customers are going to get taken care of first.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
So yeah, the easier customers are going to get.
Yeah, because they have a better idea what they want, and you're not. I don't want to say wasting time, because that sounds bad, but that's kind of what it is. You know, when you're running all over town trying to figure out something that somebody wants, because sometimes trying to find it on the internet just don't work.
Right.
And find remnants. You know, I spend a lot of time on the phone,
Right.
just calling suppliers and stuff, trying to find what people want, and it's not always exactly what they want.
Right.
So if you can get as close as possible, I guess you're doing pretty good.
Right.
But even then, sometimes it's just like, man, well, I just wasted 4 hours trying to find one thing, and you know, you might make $100 on that part of the
Right.
job, and it's like,
It wasn't worth it.
right? Yeah, exactly. Wow, I really wasted time, and I try to reiterate to people too, time is money,
Right.
especially right now.
Yeah.
You know, things are changing.
Thanks for joining us again, Todd.
Thank you.
Thank you also for joining us for More Than You Can Imagine with Todd and Clay, Tucson Contracting. Love what he's doing over there, doing some great things. Give him a call. We appreciate your time.